Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome in. If you are new, hey boo, how you doing? How did you stumble across this random channel and this big beautiful thing we call the internet? That's crazy, but I'm glad you're here. To folks that have returned, what's wrong with you? Like, you okay? I'm glad you're here, but are you all right? We need to have a sit down. We need to chat. Um, how are you? Whichever side of the coin you fall on, how are you? How your mom, sister, brother, cousin, daddy? How your auntie, them, uncle, them, grandma? How the cat, the dog, the fish, the frog? How is your cousin that still owe you $20? How's that best friend you always got to check on? How's your baby daddy, baby mama? Whomever it is that's on your mind outside of yourself, how they doing? Now let's start worried about them. How you doing? How are you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually? How are you financially? I'm so sorry. I figured we didn't touch every other actually, we might as well touch financially. Whatever you're going through, I pray and hope that it does get better. I know it will. I'm just one of those people that some people call it like the glass is halfway full or halfway empty, or half the saying goes. I just have this full faith that, look, at the end of the day, things don't always stay the same. So if you're having a rough time right now, know that the day gonna come where, one, it don't feel so rough, and two, everything gonna get better. If everything's going great, as good as it is, just know that one day something that will happen. And we just, that's just life. We just keep it pushing, keep it going. But at the end of the day, this is Manifest Ruthlessly. Over here, we do the work, tell the truth, hold ourselves accountable, and clap for each other whenever we win. And, talk each other up, boost each other up whenever we lose. I mean, at the end of the day, again, you got to take the good with the bad. Today is for the woman who has been called mean, harsh, rude, complicated, too direct, unapproachable, or whatever other damn adjective you want to put in. You probably been called that your whole life. Somebody has given you some name for something you said or how you present yourself. And I think we should just go ahead and just rewrite the narrative right now. You ain't mean. You ain't complicated. You ain't harsh. You ain't too direct. You ain't unapproachable. You got boundaries. And you've probably had boundaries and established those boundaries, or tried to establish those boundaries from an early age. But you kept encountering people who didn't respect them enough. Yeah, I mean, that's about as blunt as I can say that, or as nice as I can say that, really. They didn't respect it. And so they came up with all these other names and titles for it. And maybe because you were younger, you didn't really know how to stand 10 toes down, to stand or support your own boundaries. And now that you're older, the names may not mean nothing, but it's like, okay, let's go ahead and put a label on it, put a name to it so that we can move from it. And if this is not you and you like, I don't know. Okay, look at it this way. Just take a step back and be like, okay, have you been called have you been told that you're too hard to deal with? To me, I'm like, well, if I've been called that, I'm like, well, maybe I'm just done explaining the same old over and over again. So if we keep repeating the same conversation over and over, why? First of all, why? But also, like, I'm voicing what I need, or I'm voicing the situation. How is that me being hard to deal with? Does that make sense? Maybe somebody's told you that you're too bitter. You are not bitter. Maybe you just done bending over backwards for everybody else and to make them feel comfortable while you shrinking yourself in the progress. Maybe you've been called cold. You not cold. Maybe you just finally learn how to prioritize your peace, your time, your space, and your damn sanity. And at the end of the day, that's not a bad thing. It's a grown thing, so kudos. But it's also a freeing thing. Like, once you finally accept it, once you finally, like, realize it and that light bulb goes off, it's like, oh, wait, that's the thing? Huh, interesting. Because the people who have benefited from your lack of boundaries will always call your boundaries too much. Clear is not cruel. So being direct, being clear is not cruel. Being firm is not mean. Being direct is not disrespectful. Standing up for yourself is something that you are entitled to do. When people cross your boundaries, then 10 toes down, them are your boundaries. Don't change them for nobody. Some of us are still out here negotiating with people who never had our best interest in mind. We still explaining our boundaries to folks who don't even honor theirs, who don't recognize theirs or know what theirs. That's another topic. We out here still haggling for our peace like it's on sale, which don't make sense to me, but go off. So please know that if you haven't came to that conclusion just yet, your boundaries are not up for discussion. I'm telling you this. I'm not asking you this. I'm not asking you to consider it. I'm telling you this. Your boundaries, the ones you have set for yourself, they are not up for discussion. They are not coupons. They are not maybes. They are not up for interpretation based on somebody else's comfort. Your boundaries are instructions. They're how you teach the world to treat you. So, some phrases that we've all have used at some period of time, and some ones that we're going to start replacing them for instead. So instead of saying, I'm sorry, I just don't have the time, say, yeah, I'm not available for that. I hope this doesn't come off rude, but no. Instead say, here's what works for me. You lay it out and you put a period there. Don't hesitate. Don't stutter. Even if your voice cracks, push through it and put a period there. Instead of saying, if that's okay with you, say, this is what I've decided. Lay it out, put a period. Instead of saying, I wish I could help, but say, that's not something I can take on, period. Soft-spoken doesn't mean that you have soft boundaries. And you don't need to coat your truth in sugar just for it to be valid. You don't need to talk sweetly or nicely or kind, because half the time that shit don't make a difference anyway. Somebody that's going to take advantage or overstep is going to do it regardless of how your tone is. So, if someone walks out of your life because you finally started setting boundaries, let them go. You didn't lose them. You lost access to the chaos that came along with them. You lost the weight of proving your worth to them. You lost the draining cycle of emotional labor with no return on investment. But you didn't lose them. Boundaries aren't walls. They are doors with locks. And not everybody gets a key. So stay 10 toes down in the truth. Stay 10 toes down when it comes to you. And know that in doing so, that's not selfish. It is self-honoring. It's you saying, I'm not mean. I'm just finally starting to give myself the love and protection I used to give everybody else for free. The journal prompt for today. See, I'm learning how to say prompt correctly. The journal prompt for today is, when was the last time you betrayed yourself just to keep somebody else comfortable? What boundary do you need to reinforce, not explain, this week? And what's one situation where you could practice being direct without apology? Write it down. Identify it. And then use those to move on throughout different situations that you will encounter this week. Or just today, if we're being honest. Affirmation for today is, I'm not mean, I am clear, I'm not cold, I am rooted, I speak with love and I stand in truth, and I do not apologize for honoring myself. My boundaries are sacred, my peace is protected, and my worth is non-negotiable. Remember, you are not difficult. You just done watering dead plants. And to be honest with you, that's what growth looks like. At the end of the day, this is Manifest Ruthlessly. Again, over here, we do the work. We tell the truth. We hold ourselves accountable. And we clap for each other whenever we win. To be honest with you, we clap for each other when we lose, too. It means that, that's called growth, baby. You failed at something. Congratulations. Now you get to see what didn't work so that you can continue working towards what does. If you are looking for healing with a little edge, a whole lot of heart, welcome home. At the end of the day, you don't owe the world your softness if it costs you your sanity. You do owe you consistency, clarity, and care. So make sure that you are giving that to yourself every day, of every minute, of every hour, in every situation. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. I hope you have a good one. Love y'all. Bye.